Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the world famous podcast, Beating the Press. You got myself, Ty. We've obviously got the brilliant Kristian with us as well. Just for the new people who've accidentally clicked on the link, or hopefully not accidentally clicked on the link, I'm just going to get out the mic so if you can see, we are actually wearing matching tops. This normally never happens. So we've probably done, not far off, well, I think it must be close to 100 episodes, and I think the amount of times we both wore the same top at the same time, we can count on one hand. Anyway, you didn't tune in to listen to that. So the reason why we're wearing the same top is normally Thursday night is when we do the podcast. Is I play five-a-side and this is our top. It's been cancelled today because the other team have fucking let us down. They've used the old COVID excuse, COVID symptoms. But yeah, so this is here we are now. Before we move on, I better tell you guys what to do, otherwise Chris will absolutely bollock me. So if football is your kind of thing, you like listening about it, you know, or you just like what we've been talking about over the past few episodes and you've not liked, subscribe, please do. Helps the channel grow and it keeps giving us that little nudge up the backside just to get a move on with it, you know what I mean, keep up with it. So we've had some really good stuff coming through, especially off our last podcast. The Rangers one and Steven Gerrard. We had loads of engagement, so if you've not had a chance, listen to that. So moving on to today's podcast. So with it being International Week, well, we're coming to the end of it now anyway, we thought we'd have a bit of a fun podcast. We'll have a look at a bit of a quiz with England. Hopefully you guys get involved as well. We'll talk you through that as we progress. And also, we're going to have a look back at the England so-called golden generation and compare it to the current one. So with that being said, I'll pass over to Chris.
So that's right. Obviously, this week being International Week, we thought we'd do something a little bit different. And 442 come out with a load of good quizzes every single week. And this time, we wanted you guys to join in. Basically, we want to pit our knowledge against our subscribers and viewers. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into the description of this video and I want you to click on the link that's in there. It's going to take you to the 442 quiz. And it's basically 50 questions. We're going to pit our knowledge against you guys. So you can do it at exactly the same time, answer at the same time as us, and let's see who comes out on top. So I'm just going to switch over to my screen and just go on to the quiz and let's see who wins. So before we get started, Ty, would you say you are a knowledgeable England fan?
I'd say I'm a knowledgeable football fan, and I'd say I have a decent footballing knowledge when it comes to England, yes. But these sort of quizzes, I always, I get thrown by a few. So it'd be interesting to see how everyone else comes up with it as well.
Well, I thought I was quite knowledgeable until I've just took a look at the first couple of questions. So we've not seen this. We've just decided off the spot just to do this quiz. We picked the quiz at random. There was quite a few England-based quizzes, but we thought, yeah, we'll just shot this one and see how it goes. So let's see how we get on. So we're gonna click the timer. Once you click play, it's gonna click down. It's going to count down from 10 minutes, and we've got to see how many we can get out of 50. So like I said, just go into the description of this video, click on it, load it up so that we're in sync with each other, and basically answer the questions and see how many you get out of 50 comparatively to us. So that being said, are you ready, Ty?
Are you ready to type really quick?
I'm ready. Right, I'm going to get my keyboard right in front of us.
Okay, let's do this. What are we starting with the first one? Yeah, who did England beat? Right, press play. Let's go.
Right. Who did England beat in the 1966
Germany,
World Cup final?
West Germany. It might be Germany or West Germany. What they're going?
We'll go with Germany.
Perfect.
It's given us this.
Harry Kane.
England current captain is Harry with 2 Y's. Kane.
Yeah.
Which manager?
Sam Allardyce.
You've got to read the question, Ty.
I know. Sorry. I will. Right, I'll read the question. Well, everyone's go on. Carry on.
Sam Allardyce. Am I spelling it wrong?
You should pick it up, shouldn't it?
Allardyce. No. All right, we're gonna. You start thinking of the next question.
I can't. You've just taken me up. Allardyce is
Allardyce,
isn't it? Trust him. Don't use anything, and he can't even get his name right. There we go. Which England player famously cried his eyes out after receiving a yellow card that would have kept him out of the 1990 World Cup final? Gaza. Which nation did England play twice at the 2018 World Cup?
Ooh, 2018.
Is it Sweden? Croatia? Sweden?
We're gonna go Sweden. No, it's not that.
Won't be Croatia. It wasn't Colombia.
2018. That was the
when the semi-final, weren't they?
They
They could have only played Sweden, Croatia, Colombia because they were the knockout games, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Sweden, Croatia, Colombia.
I've just for you guys wondering, I've turned my camera off because it might help me concentrate more. That's not the reason. The webcam's absolutely
we're going to come back to that.
We're coming back.
We're going to come back to that one.
Name either of England's former managers not from the United Kingdom. Sven-Göran Eriksson. Go with Eriksson. There you go. Who made the so-called save of the century against Pele for England in 1990?
Banks, yeah.
What was the last year that England failed to qualify for the World Cup?
1994.
Yeah, no, 2008.
Yeah, USA. No, we got to.
It was. You're right. Who is England's most capped international? Rooney, I think. Shilton. Let's go Rooney. Tap Rooney. No, Shilton. Or Beckham. Was it Beckham? Was it Beckham?
Shilton. That shouldn't count. He's a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Who scored a wonder goal against Argentina at the 1998 World Cup? Michael Owen.
Oh, yeah.
What's next was when England didn't have a national team between 2001 and 2000. Which stadium hosted the most home games? Oh, right. Old Trafford. I guess.
Oh, where are we?
No. Villa Park. Oh, has it gone through? It's gone through, hasn't it?
Yeah. Has it been? Is it?
Yeah.
Old Trafford.
Right, we've got to be quick time. Name any player who scored for England at Euro 96. Shearer. All right, next one.
Yeah.
Jeff Hurst scored a hat-trick in the 1966 World Cup final. Who scored the other? No idea. Go.
Yeah,
Hurst. Hurst has obviously got it there. Forget it. Next one. We don't have time to talk about. How many goals did Wayne Rooney score for England? Oh, man. 48. 48, isn't he same with level with Kane? 48 or 58, isn't it?
We're going to go 48. Surely that would not. We're going to go 49. 47.
Is it 58? 58. Is it? No, it's 48. 48.
No, I think it's like. Should we try 58? 58. Right, moving on.
Yeah. Or have you got to type it out? You got to type the actual word out.
All right. So what is it?
48.
48. No.
No, right, 40's wrong. It's FOUR.
I'm going American. It doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. It's done. Next one. Name any nation in England's group at Euro 2000. Romania. Might want to get 48 out of it.
We're having a merry.
Yeah, this is
Romania.
Good job there's no money on this, eh? Right, that's right. Next one. David Williams, which band formed Anthem 3? What was the band called?
Dylan Skinner and the
Lightning Seeds.
You're on it today.
Is that right?
I think that is it. Lightning Seeds. No, Lightning Seeds. Yeah, that's right. Spelling.
You can't spell it, can you?
Well, of course I can. It's light.
Right,
lightning.
Listen, we've got 5 minutes left, and you're faffing about with Lightning Seeds. Right,
which 17-year-old?
Or should we just do the top ones there? England didn't concede a goal until the semi-final of the 1966 World Cup final. Who's it against? Germany, wasn't it? England didn't concede a goal until the semi-final. Oh, semi-final. Portugal. Sorry, Portugal. Try Portugal. Portugal. Yes, would England defeat in the 2002 Argentina?
No, it's Denmark.
Denmark, yeah. Okay, well done. Thanks for coming in. That time you did something else. Back Home was a song associated with the World Cup tournament held in which country?
It was the one that was one after we won. Mexico.
I had no idea there. Who was the most capped England player heading into the 2006 World Cup?
Sol Campbell?
Campbell, Ferdinand, Terry. Throw him in. No. Terry, Ferdinand. No.
Seaman?
No. Ferdinand. Rooney. Go Ferdinand. Go Ferdinand first. Gerrard. No, he's only been there for
2006. 2006. Wouldn't mean Shearer, Beckham. Did we say Beckham?
I think so. We'll go again. Didn't he do time by then? Maybe not. Oh, there he is. Who was the last England player to score on his debut?
The very last player.
Calvert-Lewin? Didn't he score on his debut? Try that. Should be Calvert-Lewin in it. Now, we'll come back to that. Who scored the injury time goals against England in Scroll down, I can't see. All right, in the first match, Zidane.
Free kick and the other one.
What year did England first compete at the World Cup? 1934. Try 30. Just go up in fours. Go 30. Try 30. 38. Not 42 because it'd be World War. 46. 50.
Yes.
There you go. Who missed a decisive penalty that sent England out of the 1998 World Cup? David Batty.
Who?
Batty. I can remember Kevin Keegan's commentary. What was the name of the mascot of the 1960? I have no idea.
George. I don't know.
Who immediately followed Alf Ramsey as England manager? No idea. Keep going down. Go down. Come on, we've got no time to waste here.
Next.
All right. Are the questions coming up there? Who wore?
Yeah, they're coming up there.
Oh, right. I'm asking you to scroll down. Which player wore the number 7 shirt for England in the 2018 World Cup?
It's got to be Beckham.
No, 2018.
2018.
Just like 3 years ago. Lingard.
Lingard.
Oh, wow, got it right. Who found Michael Owen to concede the penalty that David Beckham scored? Pochettino. No. Take the H out. Tino. Player. Name any city England played in the 1998 World Cup. Toulouse. Go with Toulouse. Spell it right. England finished bottom of the group at the 2014 World Cup. Who finished top? Italy. I believe it was Italy. No, it wasn't. I can't remember. Croatia. Next. It's the one Balotelli. It's the one when Italy beat England. England won their first ever World Cup game. Who was it against? I have no idea. Move on. Who is the only England player to have ever played for England and never have lived in the UK?
Hargreaves?
Nah, he's lived in there, hasn't he? Oh, wow.
Yes.
What was the name of the dog that found the 1966 World Cup trophy after it being lost? Don't know. Move on.
Poppy.
Which manager famously dropped David Beckham from the England side or to call him during the European Championship and see the Three Lions win 4 from the next huddle? No.
I have no idea.
No, move on. Which club has contributed the most players in the England team? Liverpool, Man United? No. No, you're spelling it wrong. Arsenal. Oh. No, next. We've got 50 seconds left here. Come on, let's get on with this. Who was the only Englishman to have played in the Champions League final but never been capped by the national side? Next one, we don't have time. Let's go. After being subbed on for 2 minutes and having never made another appearance, who was a record for the shortest ever England career? Michael Ricketts? No.
Nope. Next
one, yeah. Who scored Germany's goal when England beat them? Janker, Carsten Janker, J-A-N-C. No, we got it right. What year did England originally join FIFA? 1950 or 54?
Gotta be, I know.
46. Forget it. Next one. Let's go. We'll get one more in. What was the original Wembley Stadium? No idea. Next one. Go. How quick should No idea. We're done. Right, here we go. Let's look at the answers then. 24, guys. So we're now finished. We're on 24. If you can beat 24, please let us know down below, okay? Let us know. I need a screenshot as well. That'd be great.
I feel really robbed that we didn't realise that the answers were towards the top, so we didn't have to keep on scrolling up and down. So I think we deserve about another 3 on top of that. We got 24 out of 50.
I agree.
So yeah, Callum Wilson was the last English player to score in his debut. Which nation did England play twice at the World Cup? 2018 World Cup, it was Belgium. World Cup Willie was the name of the mascot in the 1966 World Cup. Don Revie was the England manager after Alf Ramsey. Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters was the other player that scored. Rooney scored 53 goals. English film, bottom of their group at the 2014 World Cup. Who finished top? Costa Rica.
Yeah.
England won their first ever World Cup game. Who was against Chile? Lightning Seeds. You got that right. Yeah, I don't know how to spell lightning. You are right. Which 17-year-old was caught? We never got to this question. I think we didn't get far enough down, but
we didn't get these questions. We messed up by going back and forth, and I think we lost probably about 2 minutes doing that.
I think you're right.
I think we lost it. We're not gonna try and cheat the system. We are where we are with it. So we've got 24.
We could refilm it and like pretend like we got like 49, but
I know we're not. We could, but then we've got to rely on my camera lasting it as well, and I don't think that's going to happen either, is it? So, so it actually is supposed to be me here, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah. So if you didn't hear already, Ty's cameras went off. I think it took a break. It will be back for the next podcast, so you're gonna have to just stick up with me for the next couple of minutes and what have you. So, Ty, did you watch the England game midweek, the San Marino game?
I did, yeah. I say I did. I watched the goals. I think that the bit about playing San Marino and your teams like that, there's no point, is there? They don't get anything from it. England don't get anything from it. Don't achieve anything. And yeah, I mean, it's 10-0. It's waffle, isn't it? I mean, we talk about some of the great. I mean, the argument about players that play in Europe getting goals and the players that play in South America getting those international goals, you can't compare them, because there is literally no one with the same level as San Marino, or close to the same level as San Marino, that plays in there. Literally every team that plays in South America would probably finish in the top 2 in every group it plays. Do you know what I mean? So that's the standard you're playing against. And I just think it's just an unfair comparison when there's international goals. It's the same, and then it's even worse if you go to, say, Asia or Australasia. If you're half decent, you're playing against like the Samoan Islands. You know what I mean? It's just not right, is it? It's not fair.
It's not. And I was just looking at the San Marino team. Obviously, the game finished 10-0 in the end, and I was just thinking, what level do you think that San Marino team is at? Like, do you think you could potentially field like, let's say, a League Two team, or do you think it's even greater than that, the gap?
Oh, it's worse than that. It's absolutely, yeah. I'd have it. I'd probably a step 4 side. So that's probably like about 3 divisions below conference, 2 or 3 divisions below conference, I think, because they've obviously got an idea how to defend and have decent shape. But the vast majority of them are just not. I mean, they're okay. I mean, they'd obviously beat they beat Sunday League teams. They're obviously a lot better than that. Probably I'd say probably about step 4 is where I'd have them at.
Yeah, and it's that old argument of, should these teams be allowed in the qualifying process? Do you think there's any way around that, or like, in other words, would you shut them out and just have their own little tournaments, or do you think?
There's got to be a. You've got to earn the right to play those teams. You can't just, and I get it, it's World Cup and it's in for, but it's not. This has been going on for years. It's not going to change anything. You might win the odd game. I mean, they finished bottom of the group. They conceded 45 goals, is it? I think. It doesn't help anything, you know what I mean? They've got to be playing. It's like cricket. I've got it right. They don't have money things right, but they do have it right. So you've got like qualifiers for like the new teams that come up. So you're like, so Scotland won their qualifiers to earn the right to play the T20 World Cup. You've got like Hong Kong. You've got Papua New Guinea. You've got Namibia. All these teams have got to earn the right to qualify and play through. So you've obviously got the normal 8 that are there, who on rankings based there. But I just think it's So that'd be my solution to it, but I don't know how they incorporate that, because there's so many games in at the moment anyway, isn't there? I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, to be fair, you're the other argument as well is it's like, oh well, they're not going to have any money to grow, but they've had money for years. They're not growing anywhere, are they? So that's not the issue, is it?
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, with all these pointless friendlies, I can't stand it. We go through a Premier League season. Obviously, we've got a bit more of an affinity with our clubs, the majority of us. I just cannot stand the consistent breaks, and I'm just relieved for a break all the way through, the next few months. And it begs the question, obviously Arsene Wenger's kind of been pushing for a World Cup every 2 years. Are you for or against that?
Oh, I mean, I've sort of banged my head against the wall a few times, and I've made arguments for both sides, and I just think if I've not seen the proposal in full, but what he's trying to say is he's reducing games throughout the season. So there's no more or no less games. Now, the issue every 2 years is, what do you do with the European Championships? Do you know what I mean? That's just the normal question. European Championship every 4 years, because we've got a major tournament every 2 years anyway. So I think the way it is at the moment is fine. You offer obviously the European Championship is obviously it's the next biggest international tournament after the World Cup. So UEFA are obviously digging their heels in, and it just means them having to rearrange their calendar. I can get it. We can get rid of your San Marinos and your teams that aren't really going to qualify. Get them out of the way, and then play and get your team to the major finals, having played less games. I don't know. I mean, I think the way it is, I'd leave it. I mean, it's obviously great having some, but then the players are just getting absolutely knackered as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I do think world evolved, things change. You know what I mean? And I think if we did have it, I don't think anyone would really throw up a fuss, would they? Just crack on with it.
No, you're right. Right. Just before we go, obviously there's a lot of hype around this England team, and someone rightly so, because they have got to the semi-finals of the last. Was it the World Cup they got to? Cup, yeah, and then they obviously got beaten by your boys Italy in the final of the last World Cup. So I just wanted to have your opinions, with it being 20 years on from pretty much the start of what we consider the golden generation, where we have a top quality team comparatively to this, because obviously the golden generation, they didn't finish anywhere in any kind of tournaments with the quality that they had. And if you compare this squad, and I don't know whether it's the opposition because they got further, I just want your opinion on which squad you would prefer to be playing these days, considering one's got further in competitions than the other.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the questions, it's two questions really, isn't it? You're comparing eras, aren't you? Other teams, and you're obviously comparing the paths that the England side of the golden generation had trying to qualify through to the later stages of the tournament. So if we're talking about the previous golden generation, you've obviously got players like your Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Beckham, Ferdinand, Campbell, Owen, Rooney. On paper, individually, you'd say yes, these guys are better, but collectively, the current team's better. It comes back to the individuals of the team. Well, then the other part of it as well is England have had, I don't think anyone can argue, they've had a very easy route through to both, the semi-finals of the World Cup and the final of the major tournament of this European Championship. Sorry, and they've lost twice when they've come up against better opposition. Same thing for happened in England. They did all right, but then they came up against Brazil, they lost. You know what I mean? So every time they played against, I think they lost to Portugal as well, didn't they, a couple of times. So every time they came up against better opposition, they lost. So it's a tough one. But I mean, if you're going to ask me, you'd take Seaman over Pickford, or would you? Because you're talking Seaman's had that many caps, but Pickford's better with the ball at his feet. We're talking at fullbacks. You definitely,
I'm taking Seaman all day. I'm taking Seaman. I've got to interrupt you. I'm taking Seaman.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but he wouldn't. I mean, the game's changed. I can't remember Seaman. I can't remember Seaman playing too many balls out from the back. I thought you just got the ball and launch it. So it's different. Yeah. But the England played in a different way. That team didn't play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3. They didn't. They had Rooney. It was very much a rigid 4-4-2. We put in centre midfielders out on the left because you couldn't find a left winger. Do you know what I mean? So I think the whole thing, you're
if you were thinking our current best back four, you'd probably go along the lines of maybe Shaw, Maguire, Stones, and then you've got a whole host of right backs. You've got Trent, Trippier, you've got Reece James. How does it compare to that? Obviously, there you've got Ashley Cole.
The only position that you'd change from the 2000 the golden generation team will be the right back. Ashley Cole's the best left back England have ever had. You got Ferdinand and Campbell, probably up there with the best centre half partnership England have ever had. And then you've got Neville, who game's good, but then the current right backs are just the best in the world, aren't they? So that
you've also got Emil Heskey there.
I know, but yeah, he's not playing centre half. Probably could do a job there, but that's where he's at with it. So yeah. Yeah. And then if we move forward as well, you've got Gerrard, Scholes, and Beckham and Barmby obviously did a job on the left there, but Gerrard and Scholes and Beckham, I mean, you'd say they're getting ahead of the current midfield. You know what I mean? We've got Rice, Phillips, and do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just And then if we look further forward as well, you got Harry Kane, who's obviously got it beat Kane, Rooney, and Rooney's not on there, but Kane and Owen. And it's just the players they've got are just. I mean, Phil Foden obviously is not achieved. he's not had a career what some of the the golden generation had, but you'd imagine he's going to go and eclipse some of them players. But like I said, you go back to players that the players in the golden generation were a lot better, but the current team just seems to. This current team have got more of an identity of how they're playing.
Yeah, I'd even say that they had better managers back then. Obviously, more established managers, but the balance—that's the biggest thing I can say in that team.
I think
the balance is
the other thing as well. The opposition were a lot better back then as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not just making it up. I mean, the current France winning the World Cup, a couple of 2-3 years ago. I mean, I don't think it was a great French team. Italy winning it this year. I mean, we're a good team, but I don't think we're a brilliant team. You know what I mean? So just the teams, and these are some of the teams that England have lost to. And if you look back at back then, the teams that are around, the Brazilian team were unbelievable. Germany were good. Italy were good. Italy won the World Cup in 2006. Then do you know what I mean? So there were some really top teams back then. So I think that's got to be you've got to take that into account as well.
Yeah, and just one word on your team, Italy, struggling to qualify. You've just spoke about how they're not quite at that top level, but they still managed to win the Euros.
Yeah, I mean, again, that just sort of shows. I mean, the thing with Italy is they've probably got a really good 12 or 13. The thing with Italy at the moment is they've got quite a few injuries. So it's just trying to manage those and get those. And I mean, Donnarumma was brilliant. We've missed Spinazzola for a while. He's been injured. I mean, even after the Euros when he went off, we dropped off, and Emerson's all right there, but he's not quite there. We've missed a proper number 9 for a while. We had Insigne playing as a false 9 against Northern Ireland. And Verratti's a huge miss. Verratti wasn't playing. Barella's not 100%. He's probably so we've got Barella, Jorginho, and Verratti. The midfield from the Euros wasn't there. You've got Barella who's half fit. Jorginho's not quite back to his. I mean, to be fair, Jorginho, if he scored either of his penalties against Switzerland, we'd be through for the World Cup finals. You know what I mean? But those last minute missed penalties have cost us now. But we go out, we move on, we go to the playoffs, and hopefully, we never make it easy for ourselves, and we'll see how we go from there.
Cool. So that's the end of the podcast, guys. Obviously, I hope that you joined in with the quiz. What I want you to do is put your scores down below and be truthful with it. Don't just say that you got what did we get, Ty? 24.
24.
Don't just say that you got 25 or 50, because no one's going to believe you. Put your truthful answers down below. And as always, we say, if you get to this point, please give it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But before we go, obviously, we have a question of the day, and I'll pass that over to Ty. You got one for us, mate?
So today's question of the day, it's just following on from the conversation we've just had. Real simple one. Was the golden generation a better team, or is the current team better? Just let us know down below. As always, we will respond to the comments, so please just do get involved.
Yeah, I would like to know their opinions on if both teams went head to head on a one-off match, both at their peaks, who do they think would come out on top? The unbalanced 2002 team, or the new 2020 team, 2022 team that's going to essentially go to the next World Cup? So yeah, put your answers down the bottom, and again, put your results from your quiz down below, and let us know if you managed to beat us. So as always, just like, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Great seeing you again, guys. Catch you later.
See you guys, and hopefully my camera will be sorted for next time as well. See you guys. Bye.
See you later.